Get ready to make some handheld extruder handles. Hi everyone! I have 8 new mug handle designs I made with my Nidec handheld clay extruder. Follow along as I show you my favorite non-messy way to make mug handles. All the supplies used in this video are listed for you in the show notes below. Let's dive right in. This Nidec clay extruder fits 1.5 pounds of clay at a time. I'm using Amico No. 38 stoneware white clay. If you're not familiar with using this clay extruder, I have a video on making ceramic handles with the handheld clay extruder. I left a link for you below. I'm going to use this die that came with the extruder. It has 12 small holes. Make sure the coils don't bunch up. That looks good. And just twist. If you get any cracking in your clay from twisting it, just rub a little water on. Now while the clay is still soft, cut it to the length that you want it on your mug and shape it. I'll just grab the potter's knife right here and shape it to my mug. Right there. Now let it dry like this until it's leather hard and attach it to your mug. Now place your handle where you want it to be on your mug. I'm only going to attach this handle. If you want to learn how to attach handles, I have a full video on attaching handles in 5 easy steps. I left a link in the show notes below. Then attach the handle to the mug. And this is how the finished handle looks. I call it the spaghetti handle. It's fun and simple to make. For the next handle, I'm going to use this 1-inch die and this 1/8 inch coil. Squeeze out a good amount of clay. Just smooth it out a little with some water. I'm cutting 7 inches. Will be good. Let's get a closer look. You want your clay to be soft, but not too soft because you won't be able to work with it. And using your potter's knife, cut the coil in half. A nice straight line right down the middle. That should be plenty. Separate the two halves and lay them flat. Now, using a little slip and my scoring tool, you would score into your clay on an angle, making a V shape all the way down. How do you make your handles? Do you keep them plain or do you like to make them fancy? Let me know in the comments section below. This is to ensure that the clay sticks to the handle. Now, flip it around and score on the other side. That's good. Now, we'll put some slip on. Get it in there pretty good. Scoring and slipping does take a little more time, but it's totally worth it in the long run. And cut 1.5 inches across. And place it on your handle. Little water to smooth it out. And then cut the extra off the side. There. When placing the half coil on the handle, you want to press gently on the clay because it's still soft and you can misshape the coil strip. And continue to do this all the way down. Besides making cool handles, another benefit you get from this extruder is that the clay compresses when you run it through the die, which helps prevent cracking on the handles as they dry. It's fun to get creative with these handles and enjoy the satisfaction of having an even more personalized mug. And shape your clay to your mug and cut it off to the size of your mug. Cut it here, and I will be cutting it right here. Shape it and let it dry to leather hard. This is how the finished handle looks. I call it the bamboo handle because it looks similar to bamboo. It really adds a cool look to your mug. Dresses it up. For the next handle, I'm going to use the Nidec die with the 12 small holes and the 1-inch die. If your clay is too hard, you'll have a hard time squeezing it through the die and shaping it. Smooth it out. I cut about 7 inches. 12 small coils. That looks good. Good. About 9 inches, but I'll only use 4 of these little coils. Separate them and lay them next to each other, like this. The process of making your own mug handle with the extruder is pretty simple. Now even out the coils on the top. Then make a wave. There. This one broke, so we'll just grab another one. If you have any ideas for future projects, let me know in the comments section below. I'd love to hear them. There. And go all the way down. Gently take it off. It's best to use the same slip from the clay that you're using. This also helps to prevent cracking as your clay is drying. Place it back on. Smooth out any cracks. Hold your handle up to your mug to get the size you want your handle to be and cut the excess off. Shape it to how you want it on your mug and let it dry to leather hard. And attach it to your mug. And this is the finished handle. I call it the wavy handle. It gives your handle a nice design. For the next handle, I'm going to use this 1-inch double groove die. Cut about 7 inches. Smooth out any cracks if you see them, and shape your handle and let it dry to leather hard. This is the finished handle. I call it the double groove handle because it creates a really nice double groove. If you're finding any value in this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified anytime a new video comes out. For the next handle, I'm going to use this 1/2-inch coil die. This is a Scott Creek die. I have the Scott Creek extruder and the Nidec extruder. I did a review video on both the Nidec and the Scott Creek. I left a link for you in the description below. good. And fold it in half. Then cut about 6 inches. Smooth it out. And you want to keep a gap here to the bottom of the handle. Then shape it the way you want it on your mug and let it dry to leather hard before attaching it to your mug. And it's so easy to make. I know many potters always look for a different way to make a handle. For the next handle, I'm going to use a 1-inch die with 1 groove in the middle and the 1/8 inch coil die. I think I have enough clay to make the coil. Plenty. Now the middle groove die. Perfect. Now slice the coils about 1/16 of an inch for each. Don't want it that big. And about 12 of them will do. Are you coming up with some new handle designs yourself? That's plenty. Now you want to put your little round clay pieces right in the middle groove. And do a little soaring and slipping just to ensure that the little clay pieces won't come off. Just a little mark for each piece of clay is fine. Now score the little round pieces of clay. I skipped this step once and a few clay pieces fell off. I'll use a smaller brush for this. Just a little bit of slip is fine. I also have a video on making 5 different handles with the handheld extruder. I left a link for you in the description below. This part can be a little tricky. Okay. I'll just set them in the groove. Just a dab of slip will do. Make sure you get these round pieces in the groove so they stick to the handle, or they'll be on the kiln shelf after your bisque fire. Now take your ruler and press down, not too hard, just enough to flatten the buttons a bit. Checked. Looks good. If you see any cracking, just add a little bit of water and smooth it out. There. Shape it how you want it on your mug and let it dry a little to leather hard. And this is the finished handle. Pretty cool. I call it the button handle. And it has a nice feel to it. For the next handle, I'm going to use this 1-inch die and the 1/8 inch coil die. That's plenty. Straighten it out. About 7 inches. Smooth it out. And the 1/8 inch die. And fold it in half. Smooth it out. I use the clay extruder for all of my handles actually, and you can make it as simple or complicated as you want. It's up to you. Just slice it here. Oops. See. And a little further out right here. Now, cut off the handle to the size of your mug. And I'm going to go right there. Can you see that? Here's the finished handle. I like how the handle comes out to the side there. I call this the groovy handle because it has nice grooves on it. For the next handle, I'm going to use the 1/8 inch coil die and the 1 inch die. place your now square coil in the middle of the handle to see how it will look. That looks good. Straighten her out. And now place it in the middle of your handle and gently press down. And here's the finished handle. I called this handle the double layer handle. I enjoyed showing you all the different ways that you can make handles with the Nidec handheld extruder. You can easily put some cool handles on your mugs. Like these. Now that you've learned how to create some fancy handles, I'll bet you can come up with a few designs of your own. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and check out my other informative videos. Until next time, let's stay dirty.